delighted to speak with you. Thank you so much for collaborating with us on Global Catastrophic Wildfire Prevention Day. Andre Cheung, we're delighted to hear from Robotic Cats because we think that y'all are imagining a way that we can approach catastrophic wildfire prevention through innovation that you've been working on. We'd love to understand it better, and we realize this is an interdisciplinary challenge, and we'd love to get a context for how your solution connects to the overall challenge of preventing and reducing catastrophic wildfires. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me and prepare this recording for our global audience today.
So Bobby, my pleasure. So I'm Andre. Thank you for having me. So feel free to ask any questions. I'm very happy to share our experience here in Asia Pacific and some South Americans customer their experience as well. Yep. So wildfire is a global problem, and there are different research studies showing different directions to address the problems. Better forest management, fuel reductions, and then hardening your electric grid, and then urban planning, better urban planning, and build homes with more resilient materials, and early wildfire detections. Again, we are doing the six-pack, trying to develop technologies to address how to detect wildfire earlier so that we can control it if we want to more effectively. And in fact, we do have wildfires in Asia Pacific, even in Hong Kong. And as you gentlemen know, we are very densely populated cities. So in fact, 65% of Hong Kong are surfland, are green. And in case if there's any wildfire outbreak, or we don't have thousands of hectares, but it will cause even a few hectares will cause public panic because we're close to the people. And in our environment, we have some natural mist during some part of the year. I see Claudia is joining us. And therefore, a few years ago, our partners, they developed a product using both visual and thermal camera to detect wildfire in the area. And it works quite really good in our environment. And the team are lucky to share the solution with some other neighborhoods in the region, Thailand and Indonesia. And that's the start of the journey. And a startup, a group of small engineers in Hong Kong, we start building a solutions that serve other parts of the world. As you see in this picture, and in the past, our partner and ourselves, in the past 6 or 7 years, we provide these early wildfire detection solutions using visual camera, thermal camera, and AI, serving a few markets: Hong Kong, China, Indonesia, Mexico, Portugal, Thailand. And last year, in fact, this year, we are also honored to help Greece and Australia as well. Yep. And one thing we learned, in fact, we received quite a lot of inquiry from non-government customers. Our focus is government customer because they own most of the national parks and forests. One challenge we see is government, they cannot do everything, and they don't own every land. So if, for example, in US, if I'm correct, 40% or 45% of the land are owned by private sector. And we receive quite a lot of inquiry from Australia, from US, from private sector. They want to protect their homes or their properties or their assets, infrastructure. And we really want to do something for those. And we put part of our government purpose-built solution to cater their needs. So that's a new solution, very easy to use. And we try to leverage customer existing video cameras, so you don't have to buy any new hardware, and then spend maybe 5 minutes to turn on our solution. And if the camera detect anything near your home, near your properties, it sends you an alert through your mobile apps. Easy to use. And that picture you see was the first customer in Hong Kong. In fact, the first customer in the world, which is an animal center. They provide cater and caretaking services to 150 abandoned cats and dogs. The center was almost burned by wildfire last October, and it is news in Hong Kong. It's very dangerous. And in that evening, 20-something normal citizens went to the animal center to help them to evacuate the animal. And we really want to do something for them because they were lucky last time. No animal was hurted and the center was not damaged. But you cannot rely on luck to tackle wildfire. And that's the driver. We want to put our government-based solution to help civilians, to help everyday people. And then, well, we use that similar solutions. It's a normal visual camera, and then detection, AI detection in the cloud, and just a mobile apps to send you detection alert with the picture, so you know where are the fire. This one is interesting, and it's quite, in fact, quite far away from Hong Kong. It's on the other end of the earth. It's Uruguay. Piriapolis is.
Could you say that last part again? I think you cut out, and it was a little harder to hear. Just the last part, since you got to the slide on Uruguay.
Oh, so this is our first group of customers using our new solution is in Hong Kong, and then our first international customer is in Uruguay, quite far away from Hong Kong. In fact, the other end of the planet. And this case is in fact a tourist center. They call the name is Piriapolis. It's in southern Uruguay, and many people travel to the city during summertime, which is January and March, for hiking, camping, barbecue. And you guys know, okay, that's the cause of this human activity is quite a lot for wildfire risk. And the city want to use some technology to address the issue because it happens every year. The wildfire is a problem. The bigger problem is it is repeating themselves every year. You need to do something different to address it. And so we use a similar idea. Okay, you guys, you people, if you have any visual camera in your area, you can turn on it using the cloud service, using AI to detect wildfire. So you can see there's a smoke quite far away here. In fact, it's 8 km from the camera, and it detected, I mean, the first 1 or 2 minutes. And we send the people, the team, an alert with the boundary of that wildfire smoke we detected. And it's quite an honor. We can serve Hong Kong people, serve our neighborhoods in Asia Pacific, as well as serving our friends far away in another part of the world. Other than Uruguay, we are quite excited. We can do something in Brazil. We all know that Amazon forest is in trouble. Deforestation and then a lot of wildfire because of agricultural purpose. It's October. In early September, we work with our partners to install the first pilot, the new digital service lookout in Barra do Garças in central Brazil, which is similar to Europe, Piriapolis, which is a tourist and agricultural center city in Brazil. And this picture is interesting. This time we use a very simple camera. It's a small one, just 1 kg camera. And then because of the pandemics, we don't have a lot of resources to install a very powerful camera on a very high tower. As you see in the picture, it's installed on a rope, on a wood post. And then, but the performance is quite promising. It detects control burns 10, 11 km from the camera. As you see in this screenshot, our user in Brazil, they receive an alert. And then from their smartphone, they see the alert with the images. And there's tiny red spot. Okay, it's the fire we detected about 10 km from the camera. Yep, and we are quite excited. Okay, this simple solution can help people and friends in Brazil. Yep. And right now we are in selling to government early wildfire detection. I mean, we have in the last 6-7 years, which is in our terms, it is a long selling cycle activities because government they have a lot of procedures and they have a lot of evaluation. Each is they need to know your technologies, how you perform, what is your period experience. So a lot of discussion. And for this local service, we target again business and everyday people, and it's easy to deploy and easy to use. And we launched it early this year, March, and it's quite excited that the role is quite promising. As you see in this picture, we already deployed the pilot in 7 markets. And by the end of the years, we target to deploy in 12 countries. Yep. That's a quick intro of our what we are doing. And we try to put some of the government-based solution to help people like you and me. Okay, some of us live to the forest, and we under the threat of wildfire.
I think that's phenomenal. Congratulations on your traction in getting these proofs of concept and first risk prevention, risk reductions of wildfire through early detection established. Claudia, welcome. If you wanted to say hi, and also if you have questions, open to starting there.
Yeah, hi, Andre. Very exciting. It's wonderful to see how your cameras and all the technology can detect something so far away and so soon. Yeah, I was wondering, and maybe you covered this in the beginning, of why this is so helpful in comparison to what's already out there. And yeah, if we could start with that question, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay. In fact, I shared with Bobby at the beginning. So previously, or a few years ago, and technology is there, but it was expensive. Only government can afford it. Okay, yes, you see in these pictures, you need to use Purple Bill's camera, and then you need to have a very powerful computer to run all those AI algorithms. And again, at the end, the cost is expensive. So why we target government at the beginning? Only they can afford it, and they know what we are doing. And of course, there are billionaires in US, but even though they can buy it, they are not a firefighter. They are not a forester. They don't want to, or they are not interested to manage it. Okay, and so that's the beginning. And then as of today, 2021, technology becomes more advanced. So we can we have more affordable high definition camera, as well as the AI stuff is now more compute friendly, and you can run it on edge as well as on the cloud. So it's become more consumer friendly. I use this term, consumer friendly, and then we can, as I share with Bobby, we can put part of, not all, but part of the technologies which fit into a everyday business or people environment. And in fact, it's easy. Nowadays, we have a video surveillance camera everywhere, and in a lot of hotel and maybe some national parks, they have video surveillance camera. Our idea is to keep the deployment as easy as possible, and then to keep the cost low. So we use existing infrastructure, and we try to protect our natural environment. So install less equipment is our objective. And then we use this camera and then apply AI on it. And one thing we learned during the journey is besides the algorithm, okay, we have advanced in algorithm, advanced in cloud computing, and on the chipset. In order to make your AI really works, you need to have the same incidents. You need data of the fire incidents in different environment. Okay, maybe in pine tree environment, or in school, or in some ecologistic, to help the AI to learn, okay, what actually is an early stage wildfire in different environment. And if you can do that, and then your algorithm, your model, detection models can apply in many places, in many cities, or even in different continents or countries. Yeah, that's something we learned. Okay, just like this event, it is not easy to coordinate, to meet people around the world. The same thing when we work with national parks in Australia, in Indonesia, in Portugal, or in Brazil. We are in different time zone. We are in different. We speak different language. So it is commitment from both parties to work together. And the whole team, the whole ecosystem is quite happy. Something we use that to protect the national parks, the national forests, can help people to protect their property, their home as well.
Claudia, go ahead.
Well, I was wondering, I mean, this is exciting and you've already got a lot of deployment going on. So what do you need or what are your plans to scale this faster and, get it more globally adopted?
First of all, thank you for arranging this event. I believe we need more experience sharing to help people understand how to address wildfire or others natural disaster or climate change. I believe, or our team believe, everyone can do something. Global challenge means it is everyone's problem, and it means that everyone can contribute. Yep, and as you know, most of the wildfire, 80% or 90% in some countries are human caused. Okay, your car, your machine, or some cigarette you smoke, and then of course some control burns when you clean the land for agricultural purpose. But there are some natural causes such as lighting or natural fire. Again, we people, we can do a lot to protect our properties as well as other people's properties. And today, the technology is not rocket science. It's accessible to most of us. In fact, maybe your home, you have camera already. Yes, and I believe other speakers, they share their amazing technology. From our perspective, we believe we will have different solutions addressing different areas for different problems. For example, satellite for Siberia, for Lofton, Canada. You have a huge area, and you have no network, you have no camera. And the most cost-effective way is to use satellite to detect or to monitor wildfire outbreak. And for our solutions, besides the government one, these look out addressing normal people or business. We need to convey the message to them. Okay, you can use it. It is you don't have to learn a lot. You don't have to be a firefighter to use the solution. So this kind of event is really helpful. Yeah.
I think it's fascinating that you're talking about how we can each address in this context through different dimensions, different parts of the gap in wildfire prevention, going upstream at different intersectionalities. I also thought it's amazing that you're leveraging different kinds of cameras. Are you saying that phone cameras and surveillance cameras and ring cameras you mentioned from the doors, and are you saying that you're connecting all these cameras to wildfire prevention effectively?
Good questions. So we train our AI model using outdoor camera, using high definition camera, because if you want to detect, if you want your early detection is effective, we need to detect wildfire as far as possible and at the early stage. So from using our term, from a computer vision perspective, your target should be small. Okay, and then because the fire at the early stage is small as well, and from that sense, we need some high definition camera, a 1080p. We suggest, or even nowadays we have 4K camera. And at the moment, we tested a different kind. We are in this industry for some years. We worked with and we tested different kind of camera. And if for Bobby question, we would suggest to use commercial outdoor camera. For home-based webcam, we are testing a lot. And when it is ready, I mean when the performance is meet our requirement, we will share with you. Right now, maybe I can show you a quick demo. You see my browser, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a typical commercial video camera. In fact, this is one of our testing sites in Hong Kong, which is morning time in this part of the world. So you see a sunrise, and for a commercial grade camera, they have of course they can record, they can you can use masking to protect some area, etc. They are very feature rich. One feature we find is very useful for our cloud server is you can instruct the camera. So, say for this one, from Access, you can instruct it to send images to some internet host and ask those devices to do something for you. For example, for our lookout service, that's our user interface. just like some network dashboard, right? I'm trying to show you how to use 1 minute to create a new virtual entry for the camera. Okay, when now under my account, I have four camera. 2 of them are not working now. And say I want to create a new one. Okay, just pick a plan. Say I create a friendly name to help me to recognize because at the end I will receive alert on the mobile app on my smartphone. I want to know, okay, which camera detect what, and say I give a friendly name, Bobby. Okay, the camera will show that on the map as well inside the mobile inside the application. Say okay, San Francisco, 117, something like this. Okay, and just for demonstration purpose, we United States. Okay, just need these 3 mandatory entries. You can customize your detection with other features as well. And I don't try to demo it today, but okay, Bobby, I set up a camera already. 1 minute. And then how to use it? That's a simple URL. I copy it. And then go to my camera, some standard video surveillance camera. I do 2 steps to enable this camera to use the detection in the cloud. Recipient, okay, I want to send something to someone, to Bobby. Okay, to Bobby. Again, a virtual camera. And using HTTPS, we are now using every day, right? When we use browsing, when we searching, just paste the URL just created. And then, okay, create entry. And then to use the rules, I instruct this camera to send images, again, to give them a name, Bobby, detection. Say I want you to test every 1 minute. Condition is when system is working. When this camera is ready, action. Send images through. You can pick different protocol, a little bit technology, okay? And just full HTTPS, it is encrypted, it's secure during the transmission. And then select the recipient, Bobby, the camera we just created. The profile is, okay. Just send the images with 1080p resolutions. And that's all. Another 1 minute, I instruct or configure the camera to do something. At the end, how it works. Does it really work? See what happened. Bam! You see the images. The camera just send images to the cloud and try to detect if in this picture there's anything suspicious, any wildfire we detected. Yeah. So we try to make this really easy to use. And then okay, we're talking to some friends in San Francisco today, right? We did receive inquiry from Colorado, Zapata, from Utah, Park City, and a lot from California, Lake County, Malibu, and then San Diego. Yeah, I believe I can name 10 or 15 states name. Yes.
Oh, good. So Claudia, did you have other questions you'd like to ask at this point?
I think I'm good for the moment. I mean, part of me is it looks so wonderfully easy to set up, and I was just curious about the monitoring and the maintenance and all, and just how people are tracking that. Is it more like if something happens that you get an alert? Because sometimes the only reason I was asking is because you get so much data and storage, and it's just something to keep up with. Yeah, so that was my question. Thanks.
Oh, good question. So first of all, we inform the user through a mobile application. Again, easy to deploy. It's just part 1. You need to easy to use to complete the story. You don't have to spend 1 hour to learn it. Just like this app, just like Instagram or some social media apps, when it detects anything, it sends you a alert, a notifications. You start the app and you see the pictures. If you have multiple cameras in California is a big state. If you have multiple area you want to protect, it can also show on the map which camera with a symbol detect what kind of stuff. And as you see in this slide, so a camera in Uruguay is pointing in that direction, and behind these buildings there are some forests, some farmlands, and right now is their winter seasons. They have a local practice to do control burn. So we detect almost, there's fire, but not wildfire. There are prescribed fire almost every day. And we send them, okay, we detect something, a fire, so that they can make sure that they are aware of them and make sure no prescribed fire is running out of control. That's how the solution interface with the customer. And then regarding the data, we don't keep anything because in fact to service provider like us, storage is like one of the major costs. So send image to the detection algorithm. If detect nothing, delete. If we detect anything, we will keep the picture, and so that you can reuse in the future. For example, or some neighborhood maybe they do quite a lot frequent control burns. Make sure okay they take all the necessary security measure to control it. As well, in case just something happened, you have some data, you have some record to help the authority to trace the issue. Yeah. So other than fire detected, the images we keep nothing.
I think it's fascinating. Oh, I was just gonna say, you know, whether you've had a simulation of, suppose thousands of these cameras were applied in a region, what percentage of the wildfires could be early detectable? But I don't know if that's the right way to look at it. But you know, at what threshold can you get a region's risk reduced through early detection through such?
Well, it's a good question. So for this new product, we just launched it in. So we have different set of numbers. One thing is from the government customer, and I'm sorry that we cannot disclose their figures, is their data. And then for this new product, and we launched it in last March, 6 months ago. We are still collecting data. How many working, for example, for Uruguay, we are working with our partner as well as the local fire department in Piriapolis. We want to see, okay, these new technologies, is it accurate? Can it cover everything? So we are collecting data. And maybe sometime, to be frank, we need to customize the, even though the AI is quite good, we need to customize the detection. As you see on this, on how I set up the camera, there are different settings. I can show you.
Got it.
Yeah, to help you to say, for example, detection requirement, how confidence level you want to set the system to alert you. And we have all kinds of tools to help you to increase the detection accuracy. Yeah.
Well, I'd be fascinated in the future by any links that you'd like us to share along with the video to any research that you've done on how to apply this to regional net risk reduction. But I think what you've created is remarkable. I think it's really exciting, Andre. Thank you so much for your creativity and your research and your application and pilots around the world in this area. I think it's inspirational as an example of what one part of the future of wildfire prevention or catastrophic wildfire prevention should look like. So thank you so much for sharing, and please forward us the recording and we'll circulate. Thank you so much.
Well, have a nice evening. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Claudia.
Take care. Thank you so much.